Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your August 16th to the 31st, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification. Now before we dive into this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body, like storm clouds. Feeling yourself fall into a peace that is serenely powerful as you enter into this calm, safe space. All right, now let's see what the tarot has to say. And I want to thank you all so very much. Without your generosity, I would never have been able to have for us my first ever Baba Studio tarot deck. So thank you all so very much. The energy of these cards are absolutely amazing, and it is absolutely brilliant of you guys. So let's see here what they have to say. Aquarius, August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. And one bonus card. Fantastic. We move these over for you guys. Wonderful. Okay. And now let's see what your chakra energy has to say for this time. Aquarius, August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. These three. So we're starting here with angels and masters. This is your soul star chakra, located 6 inches above your crown. This is your angels and your spirit guides wrapping their wings around you, keeping you safe, keeping you guided, moving you forward. You're deeply connected with divinity. You're deeply connected with the power of the universe. And that is something that is really blessing you during this time as you are moving forward. Yeah. That sense of protection, that sense of grace, and that sense of power is absolutely breathtaking. And it's something that you're going to be very attuned with, Aquarius. So just be mindful of that. Then we have the inner child. This is the heart chakra. This is your inner self. This is who you were when life was big and overwhelming and you were small and the world was simply you. And this here with your inner child, it's a sense of embracing who you once were, embracing that child and saying, I love you and you are safe. And it's surrounding yourself, that vulnerable side of us that is always with us, with safety, with security, with love, with honor, and with respect. It then leads you to forgiveness. Now, this is also the heart chakra. And forgiveness, it can very well be forgiving others, yes, but it's forgiving ourselves that your chakra energy is really focusing on here. And the forgiveness of ourselves, the forgiveness of, not doing everything perfectly and making mistakes and fumbling and trying and everything like that. It is intense. It is intense to sit there and say, especially when you're looking back at your past, your inner child, your inner self, and you're looking back and you're saying, you know what? All the mess-ups, all the hurts, all the pains, all the disappointments, all the things that I have carried with me and thought, if I was just more, if I was just better, this would not have happened. I'm letting that go. I'm forgiving me. Because right now, I know something powerfully. I am enough. I am enough to move forward in my power, in my strength, and in my truth. I am enough at this very moment to be the person that I want to be. Yes, I'm striving for more. But I am here now. And that's what really matters. And that is going to be, that's a very emotional energy for you here, Aquarius. That sense of moving forward in this release, in this forgiveness, in this honoring truth. And now on the left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your emotional self. The right-hand side is your public self and the public arena. And then, of course, we have your bonus card. So with your inner self, we have the sun, which is absolutely beautiful and radiant. You have the Hanged Man, Aquarius. You just don't see things the same way as everybody else, and that is a brilliant quality to you. Then you have Temperance, and you have the Queen of Swords. So here, this is all Major Arcana cards, and you, right here in the Court cards. And this is all very, very intense, very powerful, very beautiful, and very definitely and definingly you. And so as you're moving forward in a duality of self, in an understanding of your passionate power, your desires, where it is that you want to be, and how it is that you want to be as life moves on, as life, progresses forward as it always does. And then we have your emotional self. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords, and knights protect queens, so that is beautiful. This is again you in the court cards and the minor arcana coming through. You have the Ace of Coins and the Nine of Wands. Then we have the Five of Coins, the Five of Swords. The repeat of the number 5 shows that there is a freedom coming, right? Especially within the public arena. But there is some hurdle that is overcome that you thought was going to take so much longer than it actually is taking. Then we have the Chariot, Cancer energy, a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd. And we have the Empress, which is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, this nurturing, beautiful power that walks with you. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Let's see the people who will be aiding you during this time. Aquarius, August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. These three right here. We have here the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is somebody who rules their world and rules it well. This is somebody who stands in their truth and is in tune with their emotions. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the King of Cups sits on a rock in the middle of the sea. It is implied, yes, that he is a king of the world behind him. But it can also be stated that he is a king of that rock. He is a king of himself. And that's what I see here with the King of Cups. This is somebody who owns their world, who owns their understanding. They may very well have a very big dog, because we have right here an Irish wolfhound right behind him. And I see this as a dog that may look astoundingly fierce, but is actually a really big love bug, so that's super cute. This is somebody who may actually appear to be super fierce, like, yeah, you have one image of them in your heads, but when you get to know this person, or as this person kind of evolves in front of you, because these do not have to be people that you know personally, these can be people who inspire in a multitude of different ways. Yeah, you realize that this person is a lot more sensitive, a lot more caring, compassionate than you had originally thought. Then we have Aquarius Energy right here. Of course, a time frame of January 20th to February 18th, as you know. This is somebody who could very well be an Aquarius, but who shares a lot of the same ideas and ideals as you, who gives beautifully. Not all of themselves, because that is something that all Aquariuses have to be mindful of, but who gives with power and with grace, and who fills the waters of consciousness. And then we have the Lord. This is Aries energy, a time frame of March 21st to April 19th. This is a person who is dedicated, who is determined, who understands their worth and their power. This is a person who sees more. And this is a person who also embraces their humanity, who sits there and says, yes, I have fallen and yes, I have failed, but I get back up. And I don't let my failures define me. And that is very powerful for you, Aquarius, because your heart is so deep and your compassion is so real that when you feel like you didn't do your best or you didn't give your all, it trips you up. It makes you doubt. It makes you feel overwhelmed at times. It really does, because you're going to sit there and say, I just want everything to be good. I want everybody to be good. You know, happy, content, and you'll put that responsibility on yourself. Sometimes, a lot of times, that responsibility really does have to be on other people. The Lord is the person who rules honestly, justly, and fairly, powerfully, truthfully, and distinctly. You start with the sun. There's a blessing that shines upon you in your inner self. There can be a sense of feeling more in tune with you than you had ever before. There's a sense of light and of radiance, of beauty and of joy. There's a sense of spreading your wings and flying forward. There's a sense of passion and there's a sense of beauty. There's also a sense here that with your inner self and you being so uniquely and powerfully you, right? People will want to take you by eyes. People will sit there and say, well, why not me? Why can't I have the luck that you are having, Aquarius? And they can really guilt trip you. That's why you have to stand steadily and really embrace this Lord energy over here as a person who aids you, as a person who inspires you. Because this is saying, you know what, no, I'm not shying away from this gift. I'm not apologizing for it. This is who I am. And this is where I want to be. To walk forward in happiness, to feel contented within myself, to know my truth. And it leads you to the Hangman. And as Spirit said as I was putting down the cards, Spirit said, you always see things differently than everybody else. And that is part of your truth. You always see things differently. You don't look at the world the same way everybody else does. And you don't care to. It's just not your thing. Don't try to. I mean, do what's right for you, of course. And of course, we all try to fit in. But let your uniqueness, let your passion, let your power shine through. Let your beauty guide you forward. And as you do so, right, you'll see things much more clearly, honestly, and succinctly. Because you're not in it for the same reasons everybody else is. Your end goal is so much, it's different, and it's so much more meaningful. It leads you to Temperance, Sagittarius energy. A time frame of November 22nd to December 21st. It leads you to a balancing energy. And what's really interesting, if you can see here, okay, and I'm going to use this card as the example. You see how, Aquarius, you pour the water out. You pour the water into the lake. And that's what you do. That's what you do, you give. Here, with the Sagittarius energy, the cups are pouring into each other. Okay? The light of the cup of the moon and of the sun, of the day and of the night, of, truth and of questions, of good and of bad. You see things coming together. And you see the duality of our world. And in an honesty, in a balance that is really quite beautiful for you. It is. It's also going to be a little bit disconcerting, a little bit overwhelming. You're going to sit there and think, am I doing the right thing? Am I moving forward the right way? Do I know where it is that I really want to be? How it is that I really want to move forward? The answer is yes. You're falling into balance with yourself. And as you fall into that balance, you see your truth. And as you see your truth, you understand you so much more than before. And as you understand what you want, the harmony that is needed, it's also just being aware when you mess up, as we all do as human beings, and being like, oh goodness, I need to balance my cups again. I need to balance the way I'm pouring the water forward. And as you do this, you have the Queen of Swords. This is you in the minor arcana, right? And it's very interesting with this picture. It's a little bit off-putting, I would say. It looks very much like a banshee. And here, with the Queen of Swords, it's kind of like the power of your words, the passion of your soul. It is intense, and it is beautiful. Right? It really is. You might sit there and look at this image and say, is it beautiful? Is it? It is. It really is. Now, I see the Queen of Swords as the warrior queens. They just are. They fight the fight. They know the truth. They move forward. They can come across being a bit harsh. And as you see here, there are faces all around. There is so much more to this picture than what is originally seen and taken in. What you are looking at, what you are understanding, is so much more than surface value. So when people don't get it, because they won't, when people think that you could be a bit aloof, or you're not seeing things as clearly, they're wrong. You are. You are moving forward in knowledge and in understanding, in a truth of passion and determination that is profoundly, singularly, and beautifully you. You're not into the nonsense of others, the gossip of others. You're into the truth that moves you forward. And as you embrace this knowledge, and you can very well be overwhelmed by it, but it leads you towards an eternity that is, towards an understanding of eternity that is absolutely intertwined, absolutely layered, absolutely so much more than you had originally thought. It then brings you to the Six of Wands, to a place of celebration. It brings you emotionally to this place of celebration, this place of success, this place of moving towards bigger and better things that absolutely embraces you, that absolutely guides you forward, that has you moving in a direction that is powerfully, beautifully, and truthfully yours. I always look at the Six of Wands and think of a boss. What type of boss do you want to be in your life? Do you want to be the boss that nobody really wants to work for, that always makes people feel bad and as if they're not doing enough? Or do you want to be the boss that people want to work for, that builds people up, that moves them forward, that points out their strengths. Because we are all the bosses of our own lives. We are. Do you build yourself up, or do you knock yourself down? What is your dialogue? As you're moving forward, are you forgiving yourself? Are you saying everybody makes mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes every single day? Or are you saying, I should have done better. I should have known more. I should have been able to be exactly what was needed and just know it intuitively? Because you put a lot of pressure on you, Aquarius. And that's something that your heart here is healing from. And as you move forward in your passionate power, as you move forward in your acceptance of self and where it is that you want to be, you see things differently and you charge forward and you embrace. You cut through doubts and fears. You know your mind. You know what it is that you desire. You see things so much more than before. And as you see these truths and as you embrace these understandings, you're not really, it's interesting, you have this beautiful connection between your emotional self and your mental self. So your emotional self, okay, sits there and takes in your emotions and can react instantaneously. The mental self wants to be astoundingly logical. Okay, this worked before, this will work again, type of thing, or I can't kind of rattle the norm. And with these two parts coming together, you're going to find that you act off of instinct, but you act off of instinct in a very secure kind of, in a very powerful way. It's a way that's very natural for you. And it's almost as if you've been waiting for this to come for a very long time. You've been waiting for this way forward. And with the Knight of Swords, you are seeing yourself spread your wings and you're seeing yourself fly. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You're cutting through anger and disappointment. And you're saying, no, now it is my time. And as it is your time, okay, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands you a gift of the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is prosperity, it's bounty, it's planting the seeds of what you desire. And this is here at the center of your heart. And this is permeating every single aspect of you. Is this something that you will be taking? You are led by it. I do not have right now a court card with you taking the pentacle. So here, holding a pentacle. So here, it may not be taken right away yet, but it is guiding you. You're looking at things and you're saying, how do I plant the seeds? How do I move myself forward? What is it that I desire? What is it that I want? Where is it that I want to be? How am I looking forward? And you're asking yourself a whole bunch of questions to find that balance, to embrace that balance. And as you do so, you look at your truth and you move forward in an understanding, but also in a sense that there's more to this world than you had originally thought. And as you move forward in this understanding and as you move forward in this richness, the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands says that you're going to start doubting yourself. You're going to start thinking, oh my gosh, everybody else has this figured out. And I should move forward the way that they want me to. How everybody is saying what everybody else is doing. And this is saying no. You've been through your battles. You have been. You've been through your battles, Aquarius. You've known what failure is. You've known what hurt and pain and disappointment are. But you've also known what brilliance is. You've known the spark of what you desire and the truth of who you are. And you're not willing to walk away from that. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a person leaning on a wand with their head bandaged, their arm in a sling, and 8 wands behind them, like a fence. They've made it through. They've made it through the battle. They've made it through the hardships, the pains, the disappointments. But the world keeps coming at them. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a way that they believe things should be. And that's great, because everybody has their own life, and they get to live it their way, and you get to live it yours. You've made it through the battle. You're coming very close to a completion of a cycle when it comes to your passion, when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to what you desire, and the fire that leads you forward. And you feel this, and you know this. So put that wall between you and the outside world. Stand to your truth. Stand to your passion. Stand to what you desire. And as you move forward, you're embracing the 5 of coins. And the 5 of coins is this mentality which you're going to kind of fall back to almost instinctually. That I don't get to be wealthy. That I don't get to be prosperous. That this life is hard and I've messed up too many times. And this, right here, leads you to the 5 of swords. This is karmic. It really is karmic. And it is something that you are looking at. And you are breaking a karmic cycle. You are also breaking a DNA cycle. This could be something that you've heard from your parents that, made you doubt we don't really have enough and we don't get to buy the nice things. And, secondhand is just fine type of deal. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's nothing to say, oh, that's wrong. But here, it is saying, I'm embracing prosperity. I'm embracing my bounty. And yes, secondhand is just fine. And if that's what I choose, that's what I choose. But it's not because it's thrust upon me. It's because I am moving forward in this light of understanding. And there's a release here of wastefulness. There's a release here of anger and despair and doubts. And there's a stepping into a fact that you get to move forward in prosperity. You get to move forward in bounty. You get to be safe and wealthy and okay. And wealth, it can be money or it could be what you value as much as money coming forward. And it doesn't have to be that you have zillions of millions of dollars in the bank, that you can have a mansion and drive the fanciest cars. What it means is that you're able to be secure, you're able to be safe, and you're able to take care of your responsibilities. Because with the 5 of swords, what you're facing here is karmic. What you're facing here is something that you have faced before. And it can be in this life, it can be in past lives, and again, it can be through your DNA line. This could be the story of my family. This is just how we are. And you're sitting here now, you're saying, no, I know my truth. I know what I desire. I'm not going to be made to feel less than. I'm not going to be made to feel as if, I've done something terribly wrong. Because I haven't. I've stood my ground, and I know my truth. Now, some people say that the 5 of swords is bad sportsmanship. And I can see how they can see that. But for me, it isn't. Because in medieval times, if you gave your opponent back their sword after you have won it from them, you would be considered a fool. You would be. Because that sword would be used to run you right through the back. And that's just it. In medieval times, when you lost, you lost. When you lost a tournament, you could be stripped of all your armor, your horse, you could lose titles. They played for keeps there. And things were not nice, not even a little bit. Armor was expensive. Swords are a skill that was only held by the wealthy. Or that, was mandated only to be held by the wealthy. When you are learning and when you are in a karmic debt, it is for the wealth of your soul and the betterment of yourself. Does it mess with your head? Absolutely. Are you being freed from it? Are you seeing yourself being able to walk forward in a way that is fierce and ferocious and absolutely dedicated to a better and more brilliant you? Yes, most definitely. And as you are embracing this way forward and as you're freed, you embrace the power of your heart. And Aquarius, nobody can take away the power of your heart, your mind, and your truth. It is such a part of you. There is such a depth to you. There is such a healing knowledge and brilliant purpose. Here we have the Chariot. Again, it is a Cancer energy, June 21st to July 22nd. But it is also the energy of somebody who will not be told how to love, will not be told what to think, who moves forward in a ferocity. Remember the charioteers in ancient Rome, as they raced around the Colosseums. They were the NASCAR racers of their time. They were the ones who risked their lives and pushed the limits when it came to war and battle. From the time of the Egyptians onward, They were the tanks. They were a force that normal foot soldiers could not go against. And so here, you are seeing yourself move forward in that truth, in that energy, in that knowledge, in a ferocity. And people might say, Aquarius, this is so different for you, to be so single-mindedly focused on moving forward and so determined, like so impactful, because they're going to think, oh, you can just go with the flow, you like things to be steady and kind and everything like that. And yes, that is definitely you. That's also how people see Cancers, all right? But when push comes to shove, you're heading towards the highest form of your perfection, and you will not be held back, and you will not be defined by others. And your heart is your guide, and it is the greatest passion for you forward. Your emotions are coming into the public arena as your passion is really guiding your internal self as you find balance between the two. It is a gift. It is a gift that brings prosperity. It's a gift that sprouts new growth, new seeds come forward. And there's a beauty, there's a bounty that comes from the coming together of Temperance and the Chariot. And then we have the Empress. She embodies all four of the queens. She reclaims a throne that was once lost to her, and a voice that was once silenced. She is love and caring and compassion. She is chaos, decay, and regrowth. She is so much more, and at times so much less than we think of. But she is innate power, and this is what you are embracing. This is a truth that moves you forward and becomes a part of your soul and of yourself. There's creative energy that runs through you. Utilize it. You can create brilliantly during this time. You really can. Keep a notebook by you. You will have ideas sprouting up. Sit quietly and let your mind wander if you can. As ideas come forward, as you see things more truthfully, more honestly for yourself, as you reclaim a power you thought you lost, or something you thought could never be found, because now you're finding it. Now you're achieving what you once thought was impossible. And it's through the powers that you were graced with. It's through your compassion, your love, your creativity, your very essence. And it leads you to the Seven of Swords. It leads you to gathering up your knowledge, gathering up what you desire, and moving forward. You will not be held back. There are some things you are leaving behind. They're too much. You do not want them, you do not need them, and they will not be a part of you anymore. As you move forward, you know your mind and your truth. Let's go deeper. Aquarius, August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020 Aquarius. Show me more deeply, show me more deeply, show me more deeply. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Angels and spirit guides. And now let's see the people you are to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people that Aquarius is to be mindful of? August 16th to the 31st, 2020, Aquarius. Who are the people Aquarius is to be mindful of? August 16th to the 31st, 2020, Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. We have here the Death card. This is a Scorpio energy. Now, this is going to be a person who really does keep themselves to themselves. They have secrets. And it's going to bother you. It is. You're going to want them to share more, and they're just not. And so here, just know that about this person. They can have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, or you can just get a feeling from them that they're holding back. And just know that you're right. But you're not going to be able to change them. You're going to think, oh, I can get you to open up. Oh, we'll have this deep bonding moment. And this person is just not into it. They're just not into it with anybody, not just you. They are moving forward, and it just seems like they're walking down this dark tunnel with this light before them. And they are so interested, so absolutely fascinated to see what's going to happen on the other side. What's going to be there? What are they going to find? So they're very preoccupied. It's not a person you have to be mindful of in a bad way at all. It is simply a person who just has these ideas, these thoughts, and they're in their own head. Then we have the King of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is somebody who is going to be very sharp with their words, very blunt, and a bit hurtful, because they're just going to say it exactly how they see it and not care. And you, though an air sign energy, and you give people more slack than non-air sign energies would when it comes to being a bit blunt and a bit to the point. You don't need to put up with this, right? This is somebody who... Okay, so Spirit is showing me two people. And these could be two people that you are definitely dealing with. One is a bit socially awkward. They just are. They just are a bit too much in their own head. They are a bit too... Yeah, they're like a bit too... It's almost like they want to read a script as to how to go about things. And then if they were told how to deal with it, it would be better. And so that person you're actually going to find a little bit endearing, because you're going to see that in them. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, I get this. But there's another person who's just a jerk. And they think that they're like God's gift. So much smarter, so much more. And this person, you know what? Let them do their thing. Because they're going to anyway. And it's not personal. It's them. It's them. It's like, okay, that's nice, And then we have Cernunnos. Now this is Capricorn energy, time frame of December 22nd to January 19th. This is somebody who kind of stirs up a bit of chaos. And they don't do it on purpose. They just want to kind of see how things play out. They'll ask questions that'll kind of get people's goats. And they look at things, because I just see this as a passionate creation of chaos. And it's kind of like, how will it develop? How will it move forward? Where will it be? And that's this person. So just, again, be mindful of them, because you really don't want to play their games, because you're not interested. Yeah, this is also, oh, interesting. Okay. So the Devil card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck also represents addictions, right? So this is the addiction. This can be somebody who is addicted, coming into life, or into your life, or, you seeing things differently through their eyes. It could be, watching a documentary, or, reading a book or something like that. And you're like, oh, wow, I never saw it that way. And yeah, it's a bit of bringing forward natural chaos that people can absolutely embrace and kind of fall into. But it's a mindfulness of this chaos. And it's a mindfulness of things that you once thought were super cool. Like when you were a teenager and stuff like that. And now you're sitting there and you're looking at it. And you're going, oh no. And it could be that type of person. Like you once thought this person was super cool. And now you're looking at it and you're like, or you're looking at them and you're going, oh no. No, that's sad. All right, so let's see here. We have the Death card. So you have a very positive Scorpio energy here. You have the Page of Swords, which is you coming through now as a student, and the Nine of Clubs, the Nine of Wands. So you had the Nine of Wands in your emotional self. Now you have it in your inner self. Oh my goodness. Let me just fix these for a moment. Fantastic. Then we have the 10 of clubs. I like that. The 9 going right into the 10. The Queen of Swords, you again coming through as the Queen. So there's this freedom of movement that you have, because think of a chessboard. Queens can move everywhere and kings can't. There is also a sense of, I see the queens more as the directors behind the scenes. The kings are the actors on the stage. So there is more of that freedom of movement just because everybody isn't always looking. So here, that's really quite beautiful for you. And then you have the King of Cups. So people are definitely looking at your heart, your soul, yourself, but your mind and the true essence of you. This is much more private, and this is much more powerful because of it. Then we have the 6 of Swords, the Devil card, okay? Capricorn energy coming through again, and the Page of Cups. Water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Okay, so strong Scorpio presence here. So the Death card, death itself, is the great equalizer. And that's the emotion that is coming forward as the sun rises, as you see things differently. Things are equalized. You know, things are leveled. And you're seeing things much more truthfully. This is also a resurrection of yourself. This is like a rising from the ashes. And I know people sit there and say, Dane, I don't want to rise from the ashes. But here's the thing. Every morning when you get up, you rise from the ashes of sleep. Every day is a new adventure. Every way forward, a new start. And so with the Death card, it shows us this new start. And it also shows us to be aware of the ebb and the flow of time. And even if we muck things up, which as human beings we are bound to do, even if we're having a bad day or a crummy week or 2 weeks, this is saying I'm equalizing things, I'm leveling things out. I'm being aware, and I'm aware of how things move forward and of the time that I have. So with this Scorpio energy, it's not letting things fester. And as you move forward with this, you become a student of your mind. You ask a million questions. This is a time of great learning, of looking at things in a new light, in a new way, of being passionate and creative, and seeing things differently for yourself. You're not held back. You're kind of coming to things with a beginner's mind. And in Buddhism, the beginner's mind is coming to things kind of like a child, you know, without our preconceived notions, without our baggage, and saying, I'm starting anew, or I'm seeing things in a new light. And that's what you're doing. And it leads you to the 9 of Clubs. The 9 of Clubs is the sense of a battle well fought, but also a tuning out of the rest of the world. Because this is your battle, and you fought it. This is your way of moving forward. This is what you want and what you need from your life. Not what everybody else demands from theirs. They have their lives. This is also not falling into the trap of our consumer nation. It's like, oh, you just need more and more and more. It's like, no. I'm falling into the brilliance of me. And I know what I need and what I don't. And I move forward in my truth. And as you do this, you're putting down the weight that you carry for everybody else. You are emotionally, it's like, listen, I can't solve everybody's problems, even though it would be great if I could. And especially if you have that, kind of parenting gene in you where you just want to make everything better. You just want to make everything better. And here, it's saying you can't learn other people's lessons for them. You can't. Here's the thing I was told once by this very wise woman. And she said to me, you can't pull people out of the darkness. If they're in a pit, okay, you don't put down your hand and say, I'll pull you up. She said, because 2 things will happen. One is they could pull you right in that pit with them. She says, and people do. She says, and 2, if you pull them up, they'll resent you their whole entire lives because you got them out of that pit, not them. She says, the latter is fine, but sacrificing yourself for others. She's like, that's not. And that sticks with me. that sticks with me because it is such a natural thing to want to do. And you'll find it as such a natural thing to want to do, Aquarius. It's like, oh, okay, I can take on that extra burden. Oh, okay, I can, add on that extra load. Oh, I got this, I got this, I got this. Until it feels like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. Nor do I want to. And here, you're releasing everything that you have carried that isn't your burden. And as you release, okay, you move forward in your passion and your power, and you start building the barn fire of your creativity. You put down all the weight that you have been carrying for you, and you light this fire of truth. And you are warmed by its glow, and you are entranced by its flame. And it moves you to the Queen of Swords. Air sign energy. This is you. This is you once again shining through like a queen. You're going to be much happier behind the scenes, right? You're looking at everything. You're moving with an ease and a freedom, there we go, that is enchanting. It is enchanting for you. It doesn't mean that everything falls right into place right away. It means that you are seeing what you desire and what you want, and you move forward towards what is more. And as you do so, you embrace the warrior queen mentality. You embrace the defending of the self. You embrace the passion of your truth. And you embrace how you are moving forward and where you are moving to. It's like things fall into alignment. And people might think at times that you are a bit haughty, that you think you know more than others. But you're hearing the whispers on the wind. You're taking in deeper energy. You're taking in things much more deeply, much more honestly for yourself. And so they're kind of right. You do have this inside scoop that other people don't. But you don't think you're better than others. You're just listening to your truth. And that makes you very different. It leads you to a very strong connection with a water sign energy, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer. Love. And the depth of love. And the ruling of your own kingdom. You know that you cannot control anybody or anything. I mean, I'm just thinking of a 1-year-old. You would think that the littler they were, the easier they are to be able to tell them to do things. And my nephew, he's like, no, I don't want my diaper changed. I don't want to do this. And you can't force them. You can have them, yes, but you can't take away their will. And that is at such a young age. And that is beautiful. And that is something you know and you cherish here, Aquarius. They can't take away your will. And you are in charge of yours. And you drink deeply from your cup of inspiration, of passion, of power, of truth, of knowledge, of love. And it makes you an exquisite ruler of your domain. It brings you to the 6 of Swords, mentally moving forward, taking all your knowledge and all your understanding. Is it bittersweet? It always is. It always is. And as you move forward, you embrace your emotional waters. You embrace your emotional truth. And you move forward in your logic, your understanding, your power, your wisdom. And it brings you to a release from the devil. It brings you to a release from the devil. The devil is our addictions. The devil is our fears. The devil is what society says that we are to be, and that we're not. And here, the devil has these chains around them. And they're loose. They are. They can walk away. They can free themselves. And here's the truth for us. We can walk away and free ourselves. Are we brave enough? It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to sit there and say, no. I move forward in my truth. I am a student and I am a master of myself, of my goals, of my understanding. And I will not be held back by addictions. I will not be held back by others' expectations. I will not be held back by people-pleasing and swallowing my words and being ashamed of myself. Now I embrace my power. I am of the firm belief that the devil rules the earth. Right? And you can kind of see that when Jesus, and not to get religious on people, but when Jesus goes into the desert for 40 days. And the devil says to him, "All this can be yours. Just follow me." And Jesus says, "Yeah, no thanks." And his path is a lot harder because of it. It is. He could have had a life of ease and, gold at his feet. But he said no. Here, with the devil, it's being tempted. And it's staying true to yourself. And saying, no thanks. I know what I want. But I also know what I am not sacrificing. And as you move forward with that powerful realization, you become a student of your heart. And you get inspiration from the most unlikely places. And it just blows you away. Because it touches your heart so deeply and so powerfully. Okay? And in the most unlikely place, it's because he's talking to a fish. I mean, that's absurd, right? And yet, if you study mythology, you have, the salmon of inspiration. What is it? Finn McCool? McCoolin? I think it's Finn McCool. I don't really remember quite exactly. And he talks to the salmon of knowledge, of inspiration. And that's what it is here. And in the spirit animal world, the salmon is living forward and living our lives with love at our core. And that's what you're doing here. You are becoming a student of how to live your life with love at your core. Now let's see what your spirit animal has to say. Aquarius, August 16th to the 31st, 2020, Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020, Aquarius. August 16th to the 31st, 2020, Aquarius. This one, okay. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Fantastic. So we have the Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. And you are definitely speeding up towards your goals, towards adventures, towards what you desire. And this does not mean you have to leave your house at all. It means the energy that you are taking in from this world is gaining in intensity. And it really is taking your breath away. And then we have the Spider Spirit, which is one of my favorite cards. I love that Spirit just left it right here on the desk for me to see. And this is make your dreams real. And here you are weaving your web. You are creating something beautiful. Now I know spider webs are supposed to be icky and everything like that. And yes, okay. But I always thought they were beautiful. I always thought they were nature's lace. Intricate and lovely. And so here, as you make your dreams a reality, you take something that people might think nothing of. They might even think, ew, like you're going to do that? Seriously? Type of deal. And it says, and Spirit is saying here, yes, you are. You're going to take something that people wouldn't look twice at. And you're making it into a beautiful reality, a beautiful world for you. And it really is astounding. All right, Aquarius, let's look at your subconscious. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the horse spirit. Freedom is yours. And that's especially true in the public arena. You are moving towards freedom. You are moving towards more. And you are setting yourself free in a very profound and very beautiful way. And subconsciously, that's really what you want from life. This then moves you to your subconscious people message. And this is the Prince of Swords. Just as you had the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, right here in your heart's arena, you're moving towards truth and knowledge and understanding with a ferocity of spirit that takes your breath away. And you're moving towards it with a depth of knowledge of self that empowers you and invigorates you. Don't apologize. A lot of times when I see the Prince of Swords, or the Knight of Swords, as it is called in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's a sense of, okay, slow down. Don't go so fast. Spirit usually says it. But here, Aquarius, Spirit's like, go for it. Go for it and embrace it. This leads you to your subconscious chakra message, which is abundance. This is the root chakra. The root of yourself, of your life right now, is abundance. And you are moving towards that passionate truth of it. This then leads you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Wheel of Fortune. The three fates here. And you are seeing that every day has its season. Every time has its truth. And at times you feel like you're on a roller coaster ride. The highs, the lows, the lefts, the rights. But you also know that you are entering into a powerfully beautiful cycle that moves you towards something hidden, something profound, and something that you have always wanted. To go deeper, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is doubt in its sphere. And I like how you have the 10 and then the 9, you have the countdown here. But the Nine of Swords, though doubt and fear, is saying that as this change comes forward, you fear that either it will never come, or it will not be what you expect, or that you do not deserve it. This is worry for the sake of worry. And it's despair. So there's something about this change that subconsciously you absolutely want, but are also terrified of. I highly suggest talking to your angels, having an angel journal, sitting there and kind of working it out. What is it that I want? And what is it that terrifies me about what I want? And don't, write it out or talk it out, and don't think, just do. Because you're going to hit on something that you think, oh, that's ridiculous. But it couldn't be more true if your angels didn't say it out of their own mouths. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with once again a clearing away of any negative energy, a raising of our own personal power, a settling of our energy vibration as we move forward in peace, harmony, and grace. Take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Aquarius.